Hey, what's up? I'm gonna study today, and I think I'm just gonna hammer down like pre-flop ranges. I'm gonna do this weekly until I just you know have everything pretty spot on. I think I can go here, master a specific spot. The shitty thing about this though is I know some sites have a program where you can adjust it so that you're not taking the obvious spots. Like if I want to study another gun range, it'll just show me close spots because it's inefficient to be studying and clicking fold for 8-3 off. But whatever, like I don't know. I don't think they have like a way to adjust it. Yeah, I don't see a way to adjust it. All right. So just gonna start with unarmed gun. Start practice. And I'm gonna check the range quickly. Any suited ace, ace 10 off plus, king 8 suited plus always, king jack off plus always, queen 9 suited plus always, queen jack off sometimes, eights plus always, and all the mixed frequencies. The king 6 suited always, king 5 suited 80%, king 7 suited 75, queen 8 suited 20, queen jack off 66, queen 10 off 25. It's gonna be hard to memorize all this, but we'll try. Alright, actually, I should have started the timer. So, for 2.5 minutes, I'm not gonna get a lot done, but it's all good. Looks about 10%, 15%, something like that, 18. 5 more suited. So when I roll a number, the digital dice for the randomizer, that's underneath this, I'll raise it. If not, I'll fold it. I mean, that's the plan. I'll try anyway. Alright, so let's power through this. So, king 10 off wasn't a pure raise. I think it was a low number though, maybe around 20%. So, I think I'm gonna fold. I'm just gonna check right away. 25%. So at 37, it wasn't low enough. Queen 10 off, I think it's a very low. No, maybe a pure fold. Or okay, very low frequency, 4%. So if it's the numbers 1 to 4, then I'll do it. This number right here. All right. So I don't think 2.5 minutes is enough. But let's see. It's pure raise. Pure raise. Pure raise. See, like all these obvious hands, 8, 2. I think this is a pure fold. Even Jack 9 suited is a pure fold. Okay. I don't want to be wasting time with hands like this, 10-4 off. It'd be sweet if you could program that, but that's being nitpicky, I guess. It's a pure fold. I rolled a 1, so it's always a raise. low number again. Um, but for this, I can't remember if it was like a 10%, 16. Okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna do another 2.5 minutes. Um, let's do 5 minutes. I'll just do another 2.5 minutes, then I'll switch it to 5 minutes because I don't think 2.5 is enough. I need a low number. It's fold, fold, fold. Yeah, it was 16%. So it's a raise. I don't have to check the range. It shows right here too. I think it's a pure fold. Ooh, I think it was 25. I think this is raise. Yeah, 25. All right. This is a good little study thing to warm up. Um, Probably one day a week I'll do this for hours. Not this specific spot. I think this is a pure raise. I can't remember if it's pure actually. King 6 suited is a pure raise, and randomly King 7 suited isn't. Something around 80%, 75%. Okay, so it's a good fold there. I'm trying to be OCD, obviously for no limit 50 doesn't matter much, but I want to eventually move up, of course. This isn't a pure raise. I think it's around 25%. So I'm gonna fold here. Oh, it's not even. It's 10%. That one, remember, it's 16. I think they're editing the study mode so that you could pick multiple spots. So I could do all the positions at once. But for, they're doing that soon. Until then, I'll do one situation at a time. Alright, that's done. So next spot. I'll do the hijack. Open raises. Let's check out the range first. So ace 2 suited always, king 5 suited pure raise, queen 8 suited pure raise, jack 9 suited pure raise, 10 9 suited 72% of the time. 9 8 suited 15%, about 14%, 8% for 7 6. Sevens plus still always. Sixes is a mixed frequency 76% of the time. 7 6 suited 10% of the time. Fours about 18% of the time. 5 4 suited 8% of the time. Deuces 18%. Threes 17%. Fours 70%. All right, and king 10 off plus always, ace 10 off always, queen jack offsuit always, queen 10 looks about 51%, jack 10 offsuit a tiny bit, 6%. Ace 9 off, 54%. Ace 5 off, 29%. Alright, I haven't started the timer shit. Okay. Alright, think we'll see how it goes. check it out now. So this is low frequency, about 25%, 29%. Okay. It's pure fold, king six suited, pure raise, pure fold, fold, fold. Pure fold. It's not a pure raise. I think it's something pretty low, 18%. So it's good. This is pure fold. Pure raises. Those king suited hands, I think people miss those a lot. I don't see too many people raising king six suited, and I think people raise too many suited connectors, including myself. So I have to clean that up and have mixed strategy for all of those. Because in 3-bet pots, the SPR is, stack the pot ratio is pretty shallow. All right. So pensive suited pure fold. Pure fold. Yeah, definitely raise too many suited connectors. So this is just a very low frequency. 6%. Pure fold. Pure fold. Fold. So 18, 70%. Oh, misclick. Scheiße. Oh, this is the streak. Okay, so I had a long streak before. That's good. That's a pure fold. Those kind of raises are hard to. In tournaments, they're always raises, so it's hard to. Like, you gotta stay focused, or else my autopilot wants to raise those hands. I'll kind of pause when I'm uncertain. Jack 8 suited, I'm not sure, it's a very low number. I know Jack 9 suited is a pure raise. Can't remember if Jack 8 suited was a raise a tiny bit of time. I think it was. No, pure fold. Can't be that bad though. 9-8 suited, I think for a lower number, this is just slightly over. Or no, not slightly over, it's way over. 15%, 14%, okay. Alright, slow enough. And eventually it'd be good to pair it together with like Preflop Hero, that program Preflop Hero, you pair it together with open raise and what to do facing 3-bet as well. But I could drill that spot as well. It's all good. Alright, that's it. 5 minutes. I'm gonna switch to cutoff. Cutoff and start practice. Let's check the range out. So any suited ace, king 3 suited plus, ace 8 offsuit plus, king 10 off plus, queen 10 off plus, any offsuit Broadway. Fives plus are pure raises, 10-9 suited, 10-8 suited, jack 7 suited, queen 6 suited, pure raises. And actually ace 8 off isn't a pure raise, it's 98%. It's hard to see that tiny bit slither of blue. Now let's look at the non-pure raises. So starting with the suited hands, queen 5 suited, 83% of the time we can raise that. 9-7 suited, 9% of the time. 8-7 suited, 23% of the time. 7-6 suited, 15% of the time. 6-5 suited, 14% of the time. 5-4 suited, 11% of the time. Ace, we already talked about that. Ace 8 off suited, 98% of the time. Ace 7 off, 20% of the time. Ace 5 off, 74% of the time. Jack 9 offsuit, 10% of the time. King 9 offsuit, 41% of the time. Okay. Let's test it out. Pure suited, pure ace. Queen 6 suited, pure ace. Queen 5 suited, most of the time. Raise 90% of the time. Pure fold. Jack 7 suited, pure raise. King 9 off. It's not a pure raise, but I can't remember the frequency. I think probably 30%. 40%? Okay, 41. So that number is low enough. Ace off, pure raise. Ace 4 off. I think ace 5 off was a mixed. It's a pure fold. Queen 6 suited, pretty sure it's a pure raise. It's 96. So if it's not a pure raise, yeah, it is. Okay. And I just want to double check Queen 5 suited, how often it was. It's 82, 83. Okay. Pure raise. Pure raise. Oh, it's 2. It's a different raise. Yeah. 41%. It's an off pure fold. So off, that's a raise. So raise 75% of the time. It's a high number. I think it's raised 30% of the time. Deuces 26. Threes. Threes about 30. Okay. It's a very low frequency raise. Was it 9%? This is about 30%. All right. On the button, I think this is our loosest range, or it's, well, in reality, I'm loosest from a small blind, because all right, where am I at? So button, let's go. Start off, it's a pure fold. Now let's check out the range. Any suited king, ace 4 off or better, king 9 off or better, any like Broadway plus 9x, so 10 9 off, jack 9 off, queen 9 off, all those hands, okay. Queen 3 suited is a pure raise. Jack 5 suited is pure raise, 10 6 suited, 9 6 suited, 8 6 suited, 7 6 suited, 6 5 suited, pure raises. Ace 3 off is raised 75% of the time. King 7 off 26% of the time. King 8 off 70% of the time. Queen 8 off 4%. Jack 8 off 17%. 10 8 off 70%. 9 8 off 5%. That's good for there. Queen 2 suited 90% of the time it's a raise. Jack 4 suited 70% of the time it's a raise. 7 5 suited 84% of the time it's a raise. Yeah, 5 4 suited 67.5% of the time. Alright. For that, so king 8 off. Fuck, I already forgot the frequency. I know king 9 off is a pure raise. This is a pretty low number. I think it's okay. Yeah, 70% of the time. And I think even king 7 off sometimes. Yeah, 26, okay. So 9 4 suited. Pure fold. 9 7 off. Pure fold. Jack 4 suited. Shit, I can't remember. 70% of the time. Oh no, ace 2 off is a pure fold, ace 3 off is a mixed strategy. Autopilot. It's a low enough number. 75% of the time we could go with it. Jack 3 suited. No, pure fold. It's a high number, it's a fold. Queen 3 suited. I think it's a mixed strategy. It's a pretty high frequency bet though, right? No, it's 100%. Okay, so Queen 2 suited is the one that's 90%. Okay. %17% of the time, Jack 8 off is the raise. So it's a bit loose. No, just 70%. My bad. That's a bit loose. And this was a very low number. It might have been like 5%. 4%. Okay. Good fold. It's a low number. It's a raise. just about it. Okay. Let's move on to small blind. It's gonna be a similar range to the button, I think. I don't really want to do any limps. I think people fold too much to steal, so it's just. If I do a raise only strategy, I should be a little bit tighter, but I think that just playing this whole range is fine. So, any pair, ace 3 off plus ace 2 off, 24%. But man, it'd be pretty cool to do a limp strategy. Um, I don't know. For now, I think I'll pass. These ranges are for the same rake though, for NL50, so they're good ranges. But anyway, I'll just keep it simple for now. So, similar to the button range, this time, king it off is a pure raise, queen it off is much more of a raise. Played much more often. King 7 off. 20%. You know what? We should do this separately. I did 20 minutes of those spots. Maybe the small blind should do 20 minutes on its own and try to get this limping down. It's a lot of work, man. But let's see. I'm just gonna pause the video for a sec. Or I wonder if there's a different, simpler strategy. So if I choose the simple one, let's see. It's just pure. Yeah, it looks like it's just pure raising. Alright, so that might be best. That's a 43% range from a small blind compared to what was I looking at? General 2.5x. %, versus $48.6. I think for simplicity, it's good, and I'm gonna adjust it a ton anyway. This is gonna be the one range where I'm not gonna raise 42. Like it's been super high. It's been 67. So I think for the small blind, I'm gonna study that spot the simple way. Alright, let's start the timer. Ace off, pure raise. Just check out the range. So queen deuce suited, pure raise, ace deuce suited, king 2 suited, ace 4 off. Ace 3 off is a low frequency raise, 15%. King 9 off, queen 9 off, jack 9 off, 10 9 off, pure raises, king 8 off, about 52% of the time. Queen 8 off, just 2% of the time. Jack 8 off, 12.5% of the time. 10 8 off, 58% of the time. 9 8 off, 78% of the time. That's pretty interesting. 8 7 off, 25% of the time. We're raising 8 7 off more than like jack 8 off. That's interesting. Jack 4 suited plus 10 6 suited, 9 6 suited, 8 5 suited, 7-5 suited, 6-4 suited, pure races, 5-4 suited, pure race, 5-3 suited. It's a mixed, 32. Alright. About 1 minute of that. Now let's practice. I forget what the bottom jack one. Jack 4 suited. Okay. Ten sixes, the bottom there. 10-8 off. I think it's pretty full. Oh no, it's not. Oops. 10-8 off. Yeah. What am I thinking? 10 off, 58%. Oh shit. Yeah, that's right. King it off. Mixed. Ten four suited. I can't remember. I say fold. So 10-6 suited is the bottom. Yeah. It's pretty full. 8-7 off sometimes. Off. I can't see the number that well. 59. 25. I'm just gonna screenshot that. So previous, I think it's a 10. 9-7 off. I think it's pretty full. Yeah. 9 it off. Good chunk of time. This is a low frequency, so probably lower than 40. 12%. Queen to suited pure raise. 10 to suit pure fold. Alright, last minute. Pure raise. Ten six suited. It's bottom there. It's not a pure raise. I think it was pretty low. 15% of the time. Is that a 4? This was mixed, but 12%, so 4 falls within there. Alright, that's it. That's good for pre-flop opens. I'll just put 5 here. Yeah, what's next? So I could do this. Where under the gun raises 2.5x. Jack 3 bets. comes back to earn a gun. Oh, 74, I have no idea. This isn't a pure call, okay. So that's good that I think for this, it'll take out the obvious folds. Like I won't have eights, 8-2 off kind of hand, 7-2 off, I think. So that's good. Let's see. Kings plus are pure. Kings plus ace king suited are pure 4 bets. There's two sizes. King sometimes shoves for 20% and goes for 20, 80% of the time. Ace king off jams. That seems crazy. Versus a 3-bet, man. Like crazy. If I see someone do that, I think they're not. So just jamming with ace king offsuit 65% of the time. Jamming with queens 23% of the time. Calling 28. Raise 4-betting to 20. 47% of the time. Jacks 50-50. And some folds with jacks. Oh wow. Versus a 3-bet. Okay, I don't think I ever do that. This will be good. I think I probably should do the full 20 minutes for each of these spots per week. How many hours of studying is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put 30 minutes. 7.5. 8.5. 9.5. 10.5. 11. 12 hours. 13. 13.5 for like 13.5. 14 and 20. 15. 15.5. 15.50. 16 hours. 16 hours, 20 minutes. 40 minutes. 17 hours. 10 minutes. 17.5 hours to study this whole thing. That's doable though. Play about that. Yeah. That's doable. It's hard. But yeah, it's doable, and I think that it's a decent plan. Alright. I think I'll just keep looking at this. So jacks, I would never have thought that. I'm definitely. This is one I'm gonna look at. I think my opens are okay, but versus 3-bets, I think I'm punting pretty hard. So I'll set it up. See if this works. No. I think I can't specify. I don't know if low jack will count as early. Alright. I'll try to figure this out. Or what I can do is I can at least filter for of position. And saying I could 4-bet. Let's see if that. Yeah, not many hands came up. But I think that I'm punting here for sure. So I 4-bet. This is perfect. I 4-bet versus a tight player, 16-15. And Queen 10 suited is just a pure fold. Queen Jack suited is a pure fold. So it's just completely spewed. First, let's. Don't even look at all this. Let's just look for out of position ones. Ace Jack off, yeah. I got that at least. That's good. He actually, I think, it's a 4-bet more often. It's a call sometimes. Did I 4-bet? I just folded. So it's a bit different because the squeeze pot. This guy's pretty tight. I don't know. We fold. So. Yeah, king queen off, pure fold. The offsuit hands. It's only really ace king that I always do something with. I think this is just a pure fold. Open fold. This is. I know I'm raising these suited hands too often. This is just a low frequency open. My number looks okay though, 18% for whatever reason, but not sure how. It's a low frequency. I'm making this too often. I think this is actually a call. Pairs I always call. So I think king 10 suited, maybe versus button, that works. I actually want to check this. So ace 4 suited versus the button. Is sometimes a 4-bet bluff, sometimes a call. King 10 suited, that is a good 4-bet bluff. 73% of the time. Alright, looks good. Oh man, I'm gonna fall asleep. So 10s, it's mostly a call, but sometimes it's a fold out of position. In position, let's see the difference actually. Although we threw it pretty small. So fold. So jacks is still a fold sometimes, or it's the big blind. Queens is more of a call and not a 4-bet. All right. Worth knowing. All right, so I think that's good for now. Maybe I'll take a little break. All right. I don't really even want to get into post soft spots. Let's keep going. It's gonna be a long study session. I don't know, not much longer. What's going on? All right, here we go. So I think for 5 minutes, I'm not even gonna do the training part. I'm just gonna. Well, I'll do a little bit actually, but it's gonna take a while to set them all up. So let's see. Specific spot, under the gun raise, hijack 3-bet. These guys all fold. What do we do? Pure fold, I think. Let's start the timer. So what do we do with pairs? First of all, queens plus never fold. Queens goes all in about 24% of the time, 4-bets at 20 big blinds, about 47% of the time, and calls 29% of the time. Kings goes all in for 20% of the time, 4-bets 80% of the time. Aces always 4-bets to 20. Jacks folds, okay, 4-bets to 20 about 49% of the time. Calls 45% of the time, folds about 5% of the time. Tens, 4-bets about 8% of the time, calls 27% of the time, and folds 65% of the time. Nines, 4-bets about 9 or 10% of the time, calls 26% of the time, folds 64% of the time. Eights, 4-bets 20, 4-bets 4% of the time, calls 23% of the time, and folds 72% of the time. I'm getting pretty tired, but I'll just keep going. Yeah, I think these 5 minutes will just be reviewing them. I won't even have time to practice. Sevens calls about 35% of the time. Sixes calls 96% of the time. It's interesting that the lower hands always call. Some of these don't. So 10-9 suited, 9-8 suited. The suited connectors are pure calls. Pretty sure I folded it once, but I was raising it 100% of the time, or something like that. So sixes is basically a pure call. Just folds 4% of the time. Fives, pure call. Damn, deuces, pure call. Okay. Let's go on to suited aces now. Ace 4 suited is a 4-bet to 20. 19% of the time. I call 15% of the time, and I fold the rest of the time. Ace 5 suited is a 4-bet 48% of the time, and I call 20% of the time. Ace 7 suited is a 4-bet 4% of the time, fold the rest of the time. Ace 8 suited is a 4-bet 60% of the time, and fold the rest of the time. Ace 9 suited, pure fold. Ace 10 suited is a 4-bet 26% of the time, I call 23% of the time, and I fold 50% of the time. King 6 suited is a 4-bet bluff 13.6% of the time. King 7 suited 11%. King 10 suited is a 4-bet 32% of the time, a call 7% of the time, and a fold 60% of the time. King Jack suited 4-bet 70% call, 20%, and still folds a little bit, just about 2%. King queen suited always continues. 4 bets 80% of the time, calls 20% of the time. I'm just kind of curious what a stack off range is versus a 5-bet jam. I think it's just queens plus ace king suited. Let's see. Oh, there's a click it back range. It's interesting. So queens is a pure call. Yeah, queens plus ace king, pure calls. Jacks call 45% of the time. Tens is a pure call. It's interesting. Jacks is sometimes fold. Let's see. See what hands are 4-bet jamming. 3-bet fold. This, I guess, most of the time. So this assumes. Yeah, it seems reasonable. I think though. I mean, 5-bet jams. These are 5-bet jams. So kings always. Queens, 24% of the time. Ace king suited. I think there's a higher proportion of aces in this 5-bet jam range. Probably like 80% of the time it's 5-bet jam. Or no. I don't know, but I don't think people call that often. They do the non-all-in thing. So he has to be 5-bet jamming ace king. I bet you if we node lock it to what people actually 5-bet jam, queens, tens, jacks. I think they're probably more often folds. Anyways, let's check out versus hijack 3-bet. I mean a cutoff 3-bet. So it's just a pure fold. Let's see. Go slightly looser. All these still so folding for these pairs. I'm guessing like we can call 2s but fold 7s sometimes just because 7s blocks their bluffs. This is a high frequency 4-bet. 54% of the time. Okay. Let's just run through the range. So deuces through 5s always call. The suited connectors still always call. Except 10-eye suited actually starts to fold a little bit. So 90% of the time it calls. Kings and ace king suited are pure non-all-in 4-bets. King queen suited most of the time, 85% of the time. Ace queen off 55% of the time. Oh man, I think I'm too tired. I'm just gonna stop the video. I'm just too tired.